Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and a new video from me. Also, I want to say a big extra welcome to all the new subbies here. I've got a bunch of you, especially coming from Modern Maya's channel, so shout out to Maya and big welcome to you guys. We're a growing family, so I'm really happy to have you here. So lately a lot of people have been messaging me and emailing me, and by the way guys, if you have questions for me, the best way to contact me is via Instagram messages or Facebook messages or comment down below. So a lot of people have been emailing me and messaging me about questions of Tanzania. How do I go there? Can you be my personal guide and show me around? And just like wanting tips on coming here. So since I want to accommodate you guys as much as possible, but I can't be your personal tour guides, I thought that it would be best that I make a short little video talking about some tips that I've learned since being here. And also I'm going to share a couple of companies that do organize group trips to magical spots in Tanzania. So yeah, I think we should just get straight into this video. First thing you need when visiting Tanzania is a passport that is going to be at least 6 months valid by the time you are leaving the country. Also, you need 2 empty pages on your passport for visa stamps. A visa costs $50 or $100 for US citizens. For East African citizens and probably some other African citizens, there is no visa fee, but please Google the information that applies to your specific country because it will be a little bit different for each country. So when it comes to accommodation, I'm gonna say I'm not an expert of all of Tanzania, so I'm gonna say specifically for Dar. So I would say the cheapest accommodation when traveling here is obviously couch surfing because that's free. I do not know if it exists in other cities in Tanzania. Second cheapest option is Airbnb. I would recommend to rent a place in areas such as Masaki, Oyster Bay, Msasani, or Mikocheni, like kind of the peninsula area, because it's a very nice place and you will have the most options for cafes, restaurants, bars, nightlife, all of that in one place. Also, it's much cleaner and more calm than city center, for example. For transportation, the best I would say is Uber. It's quite cheap. For example, a 30-40 minute ride can cost you 6,000 to 8,000 Tanzanian shillings. Of course, it depends on rush hour and special holidays and stuff like that. But yeah, the cheapest option is public transport, daladala. But that could be a little bit hard to navigate because the bus stations don't have any names on there, so you'd have to ask around. Except for that, you can take the rapid transit system, but if you are going to end up staying in one of the areas that I mentioned in the previous points, like in the Oyster Bay area or Masaki area, there's no point really because the rapid transit don't go to the peninsula anyway. So I would just say stick with Uber. So eating in Dar can be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be. You can have a meal for 2,000 Tanzanian shillings if you eat like really locally and like rice and beans or rice and meat, fish. If you want a little bit more variety with your cuisine, you can go out to places and eat for around 10,000 Tanzanian shillings up to 30,000 Tanzanian shillings. If you want to have really nice seafood platter dinners, then you can look at prices up to 60, 70,000 Tanzanian shillings. So it really depends on where you go out and eat and how you spend your money. Obviously, buying produce yourself is the cheapest option. I would say like tomatoes, onions and stuff you can get like for 1,000 shillings, maybe 4 or 5 tomatoes, and the same for onions and carrots and stuff like that. So it's quite cheap. So when we talk about safaris in Tanzania, safaris in Tanzania are notoriously expensive. I think it's like one of the most expensive safari trips you can do in Africa, but the landscapes are unbeatable, untouched. It's just so gorgeous, especially in the northern circuits. So I would say safari prices really depends on the tour operator and how many people are in the car. But for me personally, I went with Canute Adventure Safaris. They are great. We went to Mikumi, which is not in the northern circuit, but it was great when me and my friend Josie was there. I have a video about that, so you can check that out somewhere here. But for us two in a private car, 3 days 2 nights, and we combined safari with hiking in the Udzungwa mountains, it was around 600 USD per person. But then we had the whole car for ourselves. Food and drinks were included in that price, and accommodation of course. So we were picked up from our home and we were also returned to our home by the end of the 3 days. That price can get cheaper if you are more people sharing the vehicle, because then the fixed price is pushed down and spread out by more people, obviously. And I would recommend you guys to not be afraid of bargaining with the safari tour operators, because the prices are not always fixed, and make sure that you ask them if you can be a part of an existing group in order to lower your personal price. For more exact prices and information on this, please visit my blog, Travel Tanzania. I'll have the link in the description box so you can see that. So for nature excursions and like these type of camping and hiking adventures that are very off-road and really hard for a tourist to do by themselves, I recommend organized group trips. I found two really cool Tanzanian owned companies that organize group trips to the most magical places in Tanzania. I have personally never done a trip with them, but I've seen friends who have done it, and when I go through their Instagram page, it looks absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. They visit lakes, they visit waterfalls, villages, like all these cool stuff that seems like a really cool inside look, like authentic experience of Tanzania that I'm sure that you cannot get if you have like a group of people that actually knows what they're doing. And you don't get to do it just alone, but with a bunch of other young people loving adventure and loving to explore the country. So that is definitely something that I would want to do. And I'm telling you, I'm not being sponsored to say any of this. I've just seen them on Instagram and really liked their work and all the trips that they organize. So that's why I'm recommending those things to you guys. The prices seem to be around $100 for non-East African citizens, and that's like 3-day 2-night excursions most of the time. So it probably varies, but check out their Instagrams. I don't know if food is included in that price, so I'm going to link their Instagram handles down below so you guys can check them out and contact them directly if you are interested in that. So guys, those were my tips for visiting Tanzania. If you want more tips, definitely visit my blog, Travel Tanzania. I'll have the link in the description box. And yeah, I'm just really happy that my videos are really making so many of you wanting to visit Tanzania and other African countries. So I'll definitely continue the work of showing you as much beauty that I can about Tanzania. And yeah, thank you for following me on this journey, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.